What is going on? Welcome to another episode of Music Row Hideout, the show where we hang out with artists, musicians, and entertainers in Waylon Jennings' old basement studio. As always, I am gathered here today with co-host Ryan Poole, who I will pass it to introduce the guests.
Your intonation is a little different than it used to be.
Well, you know, last time you were like, you slurred your words a little bit, so I slowed it down.
I keep giving you crap, and it's just not getting better. We need a new intro.
It's a perfect intro. If you watch all of our videos, the first few seconds are identical. It's amazing. I want to make a compilation of just the intros.
I want to see it evolve over the years.
Best part of the show is the
see
intro.
your confidence grow.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
Well, tonight on a special episode of Music Row Hideout, we are all moony.
Oh.
And, and we're going to find out what the hell that means. From, I want to call you Seth Mooney, but that's not your name. It's
No.
Seth. Is it Seth Findley or Finley?
It's technically Findley, but if you pronounce the D, you sound crazy.
You're a weirdo.
Yeah. Okay.
So you can just say Seth Finley, or you can call me Mooney.
So where did Mooney come from?
People, I didn't ever stop to think that when I made my artist name Mooney and then changed my Instagram name to Seth is Mooney, that people would think my last name's Mooney. Like,
Yeah.
you're not going to
think your name is
your
Sethis?
Instagram name wouldn't be Ryan is Pool. Like,
I mean,
well, you are
that was a
Pool.
that's a great idea, and I'm very sad now that.
Wait,
I didn't
that's your
do
last
that.
name, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm like, no, that's my artist name.
But if it was just Ryan is Ryan, that's essentially what you're doing, right?
Yeah. And
I mean,
no,
sure, it makes
like,
no sense still, but
Mooney is not my last name.
It's your artist moniker.
and your
it's
first
my
name is then
artist-
Sethis.
Sethis. I did convince one of my good friends senior year of high school that my full name was Sethicus, and it was Greek, for the entirety of senior year.
That's perfect.
And told him on graduation day that
I don't know why you would ever stop.
But
Just keep that joke going.
I
I've been
should've-
telling people my middle name is Obadiah for like 20 years.
I've heard about
My
that.
middle name is Obi. It's a shortened version of Obadiah from someone in my like past family relatives who was Obadiah.
Amazing.
But I tell people Obadiah because it sounds cooler.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
And I've stuck with
so
that
it's
for like 2
literally
decades.
wait, so it's literally Obi.
Obey is how it's spelled.
Obey.
Right, which is fucking weird because it's
Yeah.
pronounced Obi because it comes from Obadiah.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's amazing.
But names are fucking weird.
Speaking of lineage, I've been thinking about this a lot this week. I'll get back to your question about why I'm Mooney.
Yeah.
But let me just follow this rabbit trail.
That's what I do best.
I'm very ADD.
Perfect.
I've been thinking about this a lot this week. I've known this my whole life, but recently, and I think it's because the reason I can't think right now. The reason I have been thinking about this is because I recently sang Colors of the Wind at a karaoke night. And so I've been thinking about Pocahontas, who is my great, however many great grandma.
Oh, you're a Pocahontas.
I am a Pocahontas.
No
but
way.
my family, this is true, like 100% true fact.
Seth is Pocahontas.
Yeah. But my family has always, viewed that as such a cool,
That's
kind of
cool.
honorable, I don't know, maybe not honorable, just like cool thing.
Well, if you really
Yeah.
think about it.
Noble.
But
Even.
I was like, there is no way John Rolfe, who married Pocahontas, there's no way that was consensual. Based on the time and based on what was going on when the British people were coming over to America and just plundering, basically. And we looked up the history, my family did, and sure enough, it is not a thing to be happy about that I'm related to
yeah,
Pocahontas.
she was like sold essentially, wasn't she?
Yeah, it was. She was like forced to convert to Christianity and then forced to get married, and that's just sad. And so, Grandma Poco, I'm related to you.
Oh, wow.
But, like, I should stop going around. Not that I was going around telling people that was like my
Okay.
clout or that was like the
Sure.
name drop. But it is a cool thing to say I'm related to Pocahontas. But now I feel weird when I say I'm related to Pocahontas because John Rolfe brought tobacco to America, which I could
Dope.
maybe just say him instead. And then if people want to go look it up, they can.
Okay, but let me ask you
realize.
this. We're getting real deep real quick.
Okay.
Would you feel that same way if you looked Native American? Oh. Or is it just because you look white that you're like, well, it's the white guy who freaking like stole this girl?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a good point.
And if that or that not being the case, does that actually matter, or is it just internal guilt.
And
No,
jury's
Oh my
half-
God, is that what white guilt is?
Yep. Jury's half Mexican but looks white.
Right.
Okay.
So
And I have no shame about telling people
well,
I'm Mexican.
I'm not even like, it's not that I'm, white people have a lot of ancestors that did a lot of bad things.
True.
And
But you didn't, personally.
Yeah,
I
I
hope
can,
not.
like-
Or did you?
Well, I mean, I'm sure I've done bad things in my life, but I didn't own slaves. So,
That's a start.
gosh, I'm going to be like, can we edit this out? I don't even know.
Like right off the rip.
Yeah, what the hell? Golly. All I'm saying
we
is
didn't make you related to Pocahontas.
I think I can still say with a smile on my face, I'm related to Pocahontas because anyone would think that's cool and most people don't know the true history of it. And if they want to find out the true history of it, that doesn't reflect poorly on me at all.
No.
And I am
What can we
completely
say?
removed from
I think
that.
it is a
I'll
cool
bet-
fact.
I'll say this, like Pocahontas, like she's not the one who did the bad things to herself,
Yeah.
right? So
Right.
the being related to Pocahontas isn't bad. It's being related to John
Rolfe.
Rolfe.
Yeah, the movie says John Smith, but it's John Rolfe.
Right. Well, there was a guy named John
There
Smith
was.
as well, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
But I don't know. I mean, maybe it was just a common name too. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't-
And also
I don't know anything about
Pocahontas probably, despite everything, liked her children.
Yes.
Maybe even
so
love.
I
She might even
am
have liked
proud.
you if she had known
It's
you.
it's not even that I'm saying any of this to say that I'm not proud that Pocahontas is my grandmother.
And that's not what I'm insinuating. I promise.
Like, that is so fucking awesome that
No, it's
I'm
rad.
related to her
Yeah.
directly. All I'm saying is that read the history books,
Yeah.
people.
Yeah,
and
the Disney movie-
don't whitewash history.
Yeah. Yeah. The movie, while it is a classic, is not historically accurate.
Yeah,
In
I
any way, shape, or
I
form.
truly thought that she talked to animals
Yeah, 100%.
Well, here's
until
a-
like last
yeah.
week.
And
this
all
is
the
a
colors of
weird,
the wind.
risky tie-in, but
Really? Because we've already started a little like weird and riskier than we
This
normally
is
do.
weird.
risky for me socially, not
Okay.
yeah.
I didn't mean to go here, guys.
It's fine. It's what happens.
I hope
Just-
I'm like saying the right thing. We get into these topics. I'm like, God, I hope I'm saying the right thing because anything can be twisted.
Yeah, but I will just say, hold on one second. I'll just caveat and then But I will just say, generally speaking, I don't know you that well. You seem like a good dude.
Thank you.
Generally speaking, I think people, if you're just generally a good dude, if people twist your words, that's on them. That's not on you.
Okay, don't twist my words, internet, please. I'm just a moony.
So here's my weird tie-in.
Yeah.
Okay, so the person who produced the song "Colors of the Wind" is I won't say I don't want to say I'm connected to them. But I did used to go to their house a lot for a writing
Okay.
set. What did we call it? It was, I'm trying to be vague. It was just a group of writers that got together and did
Cool.
writing. Anyway, that guy got Me Too'd a few years ago. Like
Really?
bad
Whoa.
accusations. But and so that kind of sucks because I was like, previously that was like the most successful producer that I knew.
Yeah.
And I was like really proud to be tied to them.
Yeah.
And then that happened. And I'm like, now,
Yeah.
postscript this week, actually, was it you and me, Wesley? Were we talking about this, or was it me and Nathan? We didn't talk about this. Okay, it was me and Nathan. We were all on vacation together, so we were talking about this. In the all the Googling I can do, never. It was a news story. Like it was big enough to be a real news story.
Yeah.
For 2 days, and then it went away. And I know nothing about whatever happened. I found out that the case this weekend that the case was dismissed, but it was dismissed in such a way, I forget the legal language. It was dismissed in such a way that it could be brought up again. And so now I have no idea
Wow.
if I don't know if he did it or not.
Yeah,
he
you don't know if
might
he's a
not
creep
have
or
done
not.
it. Right. It might not have been true.
Huh.
Or it might have been true.
Yeah.
And that really sucks for him if it wasn't true, because I think probably a lot of people just stopped talking to him at that point.
Yeah.
Including me. So
Yeah.
we weren't close.
Yeah.
To
How
be
does
fair,
that
but I was like, oh,
work?
I'm not going to try to keep this going.
Yeah.
like? Let's say you get accused, like a lot of people have,
Yeah.
and a lot of those people are the worst and absolutely deserve everything they've got coming to them. But some people, they're like, no. We find out, no, that's not true.
Yeah.
Like that was a lie. But those people are still like everyone still hates them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like there's no way to come back after you've been accused.
Especially in...
if you're high profile.
Especially like internet cancel culture.
Yeah.
It's just like completely unforgiving
Yeah.
in some ways.
Internet's
And
harsh.
Yeah, that's a good point though. Hard to come back from something if it turns
Right.
out to be a lie.
Right.
a
Like
bummer.
just the lie itself is enough to
Yeah.
destroy you. Like if that's somebody's goal,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
Which is why I say don't talk to people on airplanes.
Exactly. Bring it back around. If you talk to me on an airplane,
Yeah, you're
I'm
the
turning
worst.
my AirPods on silent mode.
Yeah, and you were telling us before we started recording the show about the theory. It might be fun to repeat, but like why
Yeah,
they don't
I've-
have free Wi-Fi in airplanes.
Yeah, I thought this was
could,
interesting.
someone could fact check this, but I have heard that because Wi-Fi is not the reason Wi-Fi is not free on airplanes is less of like the airlines wanting to make a bunch of money from it because they're not making a lot of their money on Wi-Fi sales, they're making on ticket sales. It's because the powers that be want to keep the air sacred. And it's like the last place where you can't be on your phone really, and let's put the Wi-Fi behind a paywall so that people connect with each other in the air. But I'm not going to talk to you if I'm on a plane.
No, absolutely not. Oh my God. Like nobody's talked to me on a plane in a long time, but it has happened. And when they do, it's like, it's never who you want.
No.
The person who's talking to you is never like, oh, this guy looks super like a cool, nice guy. Like, I can't wait to have a conversation with this guy. It's like some just like, you know what I mean?
Or someone
like,
trying to
whoa.
evangelize to you.
Oh my God, that's worse because then you're trapped.
Yeah, you can't go anywhere except to the bathroom for
Is it-
5 hours.
But then
Hours.
But then that pastor went on stage that weekend and told the story to everybody, and everybody was like, "You're so brave, and I wish that I could do that too, but I'm scared."
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you're like, "Dang it."
Yeah.
I want to say that I was talked to twice on planes that I really liked when I look back on it.
Were they girls?
One was a very cute girl.
Well, that's different.
Nothing
Nice.
came of it. I was just happy that a cute girl sat next to me and then talked to me
Yeah.
for a whole plane ride. The second was an old lady who was very interesting. And she told me something that sticks with me to this day, which was, she's all, you know what they say, wine, women, and song. And I was like, I've never heard that before. What does that mean? And she's like, those are the depression-proof industries.
Whoa.
She said that people are always going to want their alcohol. People are always going to, they're always going to want to get married. So she was talking diamonds, like jewelry.
Yeah.
Women are always going to want jewelry.
Yeah.
And
I thought you were talking about prostitutes.
and
For
then
sure.
song, it's like
Oldest
the
profession.
wealthy are always going to want to be entertained. And like the wealthy will still have money during a recession or a depression. So they're going to still want entertainment.
Yeah.
Now, here I am as a music producer, and I can tell you that categorically, song is not a super safe thing like this lady thought. Should have gone into wine or women.
There are 3 paths you can choose as a man. Choose wisely.
Yeah.
Or a woman.
I got that 1/3 odds of
Yeah.
picking the wrong choice. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed my conversation with that lady. It might have been one of the reasons I'm a producer now. Maybe, yeah. Jesus, you shouldn't talk on airplanes.
I have
That
one
ruined everything.
one redemptive talking on an airplane story.
Yeah.
My partner's mom met her husband, my future father-in-law, on a plane. And his name is Mike Holiday. And
How many L's?
2 L's in holiday, not 9. And whenever her name's Holly, whenever he introduced
Holly
herself,
Holiday?
whenever she, you see where this is going. When he introduced himself, she audibly laughed because she envisioned, what if I married this guy?
And was
And-
Holiday.
Became a Marvel character.
True fact that she is named Holly Holiday to this day.
That is
2 L's.
awesome.
2 L's in
Wow.
Holly, 2 L's in Holiday.
Does she have a middle name?
She does have a middle name.
Is it Helen?
I don't know her middle name. I don't know her middle name.
Holly Helen Holiday.
Holly Helen Holiday.
Yeah.
Holly Jolly Holiday.
Holly Jolly Holiday.
Probably. Hopefully Jolly.
Hopefully it's Jolene and we shorten it to Jolene. That is actually a phenomenal name, though.
Yeah.
Because I feel like no one will believe you. Like if you go, I'm Holly Holiday, they're like, what was your name though? Before you changed it.
No, literally. Yeah.
And to be fair, she did change it.
It's a perfect name. Is Holly usually short for something? It's not.
Holiday.
Oh, holiday.
I'm pretty sure, right? Holiday.
Yeah,
Holiday.
that's it.
It does sound like a name that should be short for something. Like Sally is short for
Elizabeth.
salamander.
I don't think Sally's short for anything.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until after I said it. And then I just had to roll with it.
Can we talk about how Dick is short for Robert?
Yeah, what the hell?
Literally, what?
None of those letters are in Robert.
No. Why?
Dick.
What?
I bet you one guy was just a dick. And it just like caught on, and
That's
he just like
probably
played it
it.
off. He
Or
just played
just-
it off. He's like, it's just what it's just short for Robert.
Or had a short 9.
Short 9. Yeah. Just a small amount.
Do you think it was like a curse of a witch?
I feel like you didn't get that. I mean, let's talk about.
I don't play golf, man. Anyway,
So Moony came
We're like
from
20 minutes in and already off the rails.
origin of Moony.
Yes.
That was.
We asked the first question. The first thing we said.
Yeah, Seth Finley is my name. Moony is my artist name. Moony came from when I was like probably 7th grade, 6th or 7th grade. We were road tripping to Florida. Me and my family. I have 3 siblings, 1 younger brother, 2 older sisters. We're all within 5 years of each other in age. We're all very close. We were road tripping, all 6 of us, my parents included, to Florida. And I went to take a nap on my sister's lap. And she said, "Seth, your head is as heavy as the moon. Get off of me, Moony." And she called me Moony because my head was like physically as big and heavy as the moon. And we all laughed. And then like, it's not even that the nickname stuck. It literally didn't stick. But everyone in my family kind of had jokey nicknames that every once in a while we would just pull out of our pockets. And mine was Moony. And so that's where Moony became Moon. That's where Moony came from.
That's a great origin story for that name.
Yeah. So Moony because my head's as big as the moon.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of reminds me of Jimmy Eat World.
Mm.
Are you familiar?
I mean,
that's right.
yeah, it's a band.
Yeah, they his younger brother drew a picture of somebody that like looked like they were eating the world, and he said, and it said Jimmy Eat World. His name's Jim, the lead singer.
Yeah.
And so it was Jimmy Eat World. He
That's
wrote
awesome.
on the drawing, and they used it as a band name.
I love that. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But we should probably, so the people know what you sound like, we should probably play the first song.
Oh yeah, and after, I want to know why everyone is Moony.
Okay. And you're saying here the first song is in my live performance.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's not what I sound like normally.
Yeah, you got to go look it up on Spotify because he's playing acoustically, and the first song is Holiday, right, that we're listening to?
Holiday with 9
With 9 L's. Completely different sound on Spotify. It is a wild song.
Hi, I'm Moony, and I'm going to play a silly version of my silly song with Moony. It's called Holiday. It has 9 L's in Holiday, and the song was not written on guitar, so we're going to see how this goes. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Cut the shit, found a new level. This is it, gonna grab my shovel. Dig a grave on pins and needles, so I bury the body to rest. You gave me some paralyzing feelings from the start. I'm a constellation, you're my stars. I think I get how they wrote those scripts. Now I wanna go back and watch it. I'm feeling like pressing play and taking a holiday. I've been saving my PTO for you, baby. I'm locked and loaded, I'm on the right side of heaven. I love my sisters and brother and parents, and I'm over the moon that we're gonna be parents. I'm so unmistakably happy at last. Why did I try so hard before? Fall on my Abby on guitar, and I like that looking. It's Abby in the car when my brain's all mush, and it's Abby on my mind, and it's Abby all the time. I love Abby, social mother, my kids. Do you think that's funny or dummy? We're falling in love, and I'm in a Hollywood movie. It's silly, the Christmas is coming, and God bless those kids when mommy and daddy have more fun than them. I'm feeling like brash simply and taking a holiday. I've been saving my PTO for you, baby. I'm locked and loaded. I'm on the right side, brash simply and taking a holiday. I've been saving my PTO for you, baby. I'm locked and loaded. I'm on the right side of heaven. I'm on the right side of heaven. My best friend when I'm not even thinking about it. Well, can we find 29 people? I'm spelunking inside your eyelids. You're probably not hearing me right till you study the album liner. And now that you're perusing these lines, I think I'll tell you a secret later. I'm feeling like brash simply and taking a holiday. I've been saving my PTO for you, baby. I'm locked and loaded. I'm on the right side, brash simply and taking a holiday. I've been saving my PTO for you, baby. I'm locked and loaded. I'm on the right side of heaven. I'm on the right side of heaven. Locked and loaded, I'm on the right side.
And we're back. So we just listened to Holiday, the acoustic version. Which, have you done an acoustic before? Because the way you're talking about it made me thinking you didn't.
And not until this morning, I woke up and was like, shit, I don't want to just play Angry and Healthy again, because that's usually what I go to
It's your
if I need to
go-tos.
do acoustic versions. I need to play my new song because it just came out. And so when I wrote that song, I literally just like looped a bass part and a drum part on Logic. And I wanted, a lot of the times when I'm writing, I am producing out the track while I write it. But this song is so lyric heavy, and like the daunting task of this song for me was not, does it sound cool? It was, am I saying it right? Because it's a song about Abby, my fiance, and I've never written a song about her, and it's been intimidating to think about writing that song. And so I was just like, I can't spend most of my time because usually I kind of write and produce at the same time, but because this song was like almost sacred for me, I needed to just get a loop going and then just write on top of it. And so I started looping this bass and guitar thing, this like synth bass that was just like boom 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 boom, just over and over again.
You got to keep that up, Ryan, so you can do the next part.
Okay, keep going. And then there's just the drum. Yeah, so I just had that going. And like even going into this song, do
you want to give Jury a part? Because we could
yeah,
do it
if
together.
you can just go cowbell.
All right, everybody,
1, 2, 3,
What's
4.
the cowbell? What was the cowbell?
Just find a beat.
Find a beat. I'm the wrong person for this.
Nice people. Oh, but we already have one. We should show him.
You
yeah,
love
yeah,
this.
let me
You
hear
love
it. That's amazing.
It's from Star Wars Episode 1.
Yes.
During the lightsaber fight.
Yes, of course. That's
We've
awesome.
done that no less than 40 times in our lives.
I love that.
And I'm definitely not a singer, so it's always a little off key,
No,
which I feel
I-
like makes it better.
I
No, I
literally,
thought
I
the key
knew
was
what
great.
you were about to do, and I was
Did
like,
you?
where in his range is he going to sing this? Is he going to come in on the right note? And you nailed it,
Well, thank
dude.
you. Wow.
Knocked it out of the park.
Goddamn
Yeah.
professional out here.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
So I wanted
well,
to say
so
so I
the
heard
song.
Oh yeah. Or I don't know.
Yep. It's like,
Hey, let me finish. I'm just kidding. What were we about to ask?
No, I was gonna say. So I listened to it on Spotify initially. So I just like started from the top of your Spotify and like listen through a little bit.
Cool.
And the first song was like, "What's cool?" It was like a fun jam. This is dope. And I was like, "Okay, this is what he sounds like."
is that the great?
No.
Great, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I heard the next song.
Yeah.
Holiday was the next one on the list.
Yeah.
On Spotify. And I was like, "Oh, this is different." Like he doesn't necessarily sound like that.
No.
And I loved Holiday. I thought it was a dope
you.
song. It's a little screamo a little bit, and like part. And I was like, it's like a wild song. It's super dope. I really dug it. And then your next song, what was the name of the next? I don't remember the name of the next one.
Probably.
Maybe I was like, this is also completely different.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what this guy sounds like.
No.
No clue.
Yeah.
But I loved Holiday. The song is dope, and acoustically, it sounded really good too. I thought it worked.
Yeah, and I think that song was so. Yeah, it was like it was a daunting task to write it, and it was just lyrically heavy. And I also like you hear, Seth wrote a song about Abby. It's his first song he wrote about Abby. It's probably gonna be this like cute little love song, and I just couldn't bring myself to like sitting down with a guitar and writing out this beautiful love song. And so I kind of wanted to flip expectations on its head. The song is like musically, like take the lyrics away, it's just like a fun time that goes a lot of different places, but like lyrically it's like it's silly. It's so silly. And I wanted to capture the like feelings and emotions that I felt at the beginning of Abby and I's relationship, where it felt so like unreal. Like what neither of us had experienced anything like what we were experiencing in the literal, like I feel like people like downplay like, it's all feelings at the beginning of a relationship, and then once you settle,
phase.
yeah, like once you settle in, then that's when real life starts. But like those feelings at the start are so powerful, and to discount it as like it's just the start of a relationship,
It's important too.
It is. It's literally what gets it started, and I would say, we're only like a little over a year into our relationship, but in some ways, like some of those honeymoon feelings are still there, which I'm a realist, and I realize that like it's going to be hard a lot of the times, and we have gone through hardships, and things are going to be a blend of good and hard. But if I can like capture the just Hollywood movie feeling love that we both were just experiencing and feeling for the first few months of our relationship, I'm going to have like a staple piece of physical or audio sensory evidence that this is the most real thing, period. And you like this is true love. It sounds so cheesy, but like this is the truest love song I have ever been able to regurgitate out of me. And it's because I didn't let myself conform to like
standard
what,
love
yeah,
song.
like what you would think a love song is. Not that that's even like revolutionary at all. That's not. A bunch of people have done that. But for me, for my writing and what I've done through the years, I've never just let myself. I mean, literally, like verse 2, it's silly. I literally say the word silly because as I was writing, I was like, is this allowed? I sent the whole demo to my producer I work with, Michael, afterwards, and I'm like, dude, if you think I should like water down these lyrics and change them, like if you feel awkward listening to it at first, let me know, because I don't want people to feel weird. I don't know, like can I just like say verse 2? Is that stupid?
Yeah, no, go for it.
Fine, yeah.
But it literally is saying, I love my sisters and brother and parents, and I'm over the moon that we're going to be parents. Haha. I added the haha because we're not pregnant. It's just talking about, I was like, what's the most serious thing I can think of about like expressing my love for her? And it's the fact that I want to have kids with her eventually. And that's like such a intense showing of my love. The fact that I want to start a family with you. So I'm over the moon that we're going to be parents. Haha. I'm so unmistakably happy at last. Why did I try so hard before and fall on my Abby on guitar? And I like that look. Abby in the car when my brain's all mush. Abby on my mind, and it's Abby all the time. I love Abby, so she'll mother my kids. Which again, coming back to that. Do you think that's funny or dummy? We're falling in lovey, and I'm in a Hollywood movie. It's silly. The Christmas is coming. God bless those kids, back to the kids, that when mommy and daddy have more fun than them. It's just, it's goofy. And I feel awkward, like just speaking the lyrics because I'm like, this is goofy. But I had to do it. I just like had to, I don't know.
Well, I think that's what makes it work. Is that it's real, it's heartfelt.
It feels...
It's not like you're just writing lyrics about a fake person named Abby.
Yeah.
This is real.
Yeah, and in some ways, like any love song I've written in the past has been like it still came from like a real place inside of me, but it was, how can I make this accessible kind of thing, so that people can relate to it. And only men or women with a girlfriend or fiance or wife named Abby can like directly relate to that part of it. I just like didn't try to make it accessible in that sense, which I feel like is kind of the like thesis of Moony, is like I'm just doing this for me.
Yeah.
Like,
So was it almost very much like this isn't for you anyway.
Yeah, well, the original intent was this was gonna be a wedding gift to her. We're getting married on New Year's Eve.
All right.
Very excited.
Oh, cool.
And this was gonna be
And everyone listening is invited, so come on down.
Yeah, open invite wedding.
Open invite, open bar.
Yes. Oh, that would be crazy. That would be so
crazy.
fun if I could afford it.
Dude,
or if Abby's parents could afford it.
Some billionaire out there should do that. Like Richard Branson. Richard Branson
Yes.
should have an open bar, open invite wedding.
My uncle was Richard Branson's private pilot.
Oh, wow.
Really? On Branson 1?
Oh, yeah,
I just
guess
assume that's
so.
what it's called. I just made that up. I have no idea if that's real.
But yeah, so it was going to be a wedding gift for her. And I was going to give it, I was going to really, we're going to get married New Year's Eve. And then January 1st, I was going to release Holiday. And like, we were going to wake up after the wedding and I was going to be like, check Spotify. And it was going to be out. But I was like, I don't want to fucking promote this song the week of my honeymoon. That would suck. So I pivoted and I showed her like late summer when it was almost, it like wasn't mixed yet, but I kept it a secret from her the whole time.
Late summer, like a month ago.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
like real recently.
A month or two ago I showed her and it was very sweet and special. And then it came out as my first single for this new era, which I was not expecting it to be the first single, but here we are. I think it's a good bridge from Moony and Friends into the new era because the new stuff is just so different than Moony and Friends, but we can get into that.
So many questions.
Yeah,
One.
ask away. Sorry, I talked too long about Holiday just now.
I love it.
That was perfect. No, but you've given me questions.
Mm-hmm.
So why are there 7 L's or 9
9
L's?
L's. Get it straight, Ryan. He said it a bunch of times.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you the reason that I would just quickly tell a person, and then I'm gonna tell you
The
real
elevator
person.
pitch.
Okay.
Yeah.
The elevator pitch is that Abby's name is Abby Holiday, and there's 2 L's in Holiday, and I was like, she always says she's an artist as well, and whenever she plays. If she introduces herself, she's like, I'm Abby Holiday. That's 2 L's in Holiday. That's the tricky part, is what she says. And I was like, let's just like lean into that and make it funny and put 9 L's in it. Just like leaning into the fact that she has 2 L's.
Yeah.
But the real reason, it was originally just going to be called Holiday with 1 L. Because the chorus says, I'm feeling like pressing play and taking a holiday. I've been saving my PTO for you, baby. But whenever so the visual team behind this single and the stuff that's coming up is me, Luke Holiday, which is Abby's brother. He does the video stuff. Noah Tidmore is doing photos, and then Jordan Weatherby is doing design and typography stuff. And we were dreaming up the album cover of what this was going to look like, and I wanted to physically write Moony and Holiday on whatever set we built. And Jordan was like on his computer kind of mocking up some stuff because we knew we wanted like a corner of a room, like where you're sitting, and I was going to be in the corner. And we were like, should Moony be on this side of the wall and Holiday be over here? Should it just be like Moony, Holiday? And I was like, what if Moony was above me and then Holiday was kind of behind me, but then you wouldn't be able to see the whole word of Holiday? what? And then Jordan was like, well, what if we just put like a bunch of L's so that you can see the start of the L's right here, like HOLL, and then like my body covers up a few L's, and then LLID. Like it just picks up right where it left off, and where I am is covering up a bunch of L's, and that way you can still know exactly what it says. And so I was like, that's amazing. Let's do it. And whatever you end up painting onto the wall, that's how many L's is going to be in the title of the song. So it ended up being 9 L's because that's like this amount of space that we had, and that's why it's called
That's
Holiday
great.
with 9 L's.
Yeah, I think it would have been a tragedy if you had left it 1 L.
Yeah.
That would have not worked as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, something about it's special because of that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's like good for SEO. I was thinking this is going to be bad for
Oh,
SEO
yeah.
because like who's going to look up this? But no, you literally just start going HOLLL, and the second you do 3 L's, it's going to show up because
Yeah.
Be the only
Yeah.
thing with
Because
that many
nothing else has
L's
that
in the
many.
world.
maybe something has 3, but definitely nothing has 9.
Yeah.
So
So what? Tell me about the visual aesthetic because I think it's really striking. So if you go look at your Instagram now, it's like a hard shift from the kind of stuff you were putting out before.
yeah.
And it's all like black and very stark, and you have like black paint that you're like playing with, and it's like I want to know like where that come out of your mind, but also like it's an interesting choice, just like you said that like so for a love song about your fiance, it's an interesting choice that the song is not like baby, I love your way, you know, holiday. You know, it's,
I like that.
it's just, you should have done that.
We should do a
You
re-release.
messed up. But
You messed up.
you done fucked up. But
It could have been a soft, slow acoustic jam.
I
It was
know.
at this moment that he knew. He fucked
Oh
up.
yeah, we have sounds
Oh
on
my
this
God.
board. Feel free to press any buttons you want.
Oh, now I want to see what all of them do, but I'll wait.
that is the first time that what I said I was
Actually
like,
is
that
appropriate.
button worked for
That's
this.
amazing.
I never pressed that button, but
That's amazing.
Anyway, so that being said, so it's an interesting choice musically what it does, but also visually it's very like not what you would think for like
Yeah.
a love song. So talk to me about the visuals.
Yeah. It's hard to talk about the visuals for Holiday without bringing into account what's come before Holiday, because everything you see and hear from me, it's like so incredibly intentional. I'm trying hard, and that sounds like I'm a try hard to say it, but I really am like trying hard to build a story that if you have been here since the day Moon EP came out, which was my debut EP, until now, and have been watching closely, you can kind of see what I'm doing and like how each project gets to the next project. For Holiday, so Moony and Friends was, okay, let me just say this. Moon EP was my first EP that I put out, and then my second EP was called Moonier EP, and it was alternate versions of the songs from Moon EP, but I called them alternate reality versions because they were not like remixes. They were literally like, if you would have found this in reality B of Earth, this is maybe what they would sound like. And that got me thinking, what if every project that Moony releases, I like frame it and build it in this way of like, this is not just like a new project from Moony. This is a different Moony that is releasing a project. But it's still Seth. Like it's still me.
So there's like a multiverse component to your music.
1,000%. Yeah.
Wow.
And like it's been there since the start, and I like subtly will hint at things throughout. The moonyverse.
The moonyverse.
And
You could just say the MCU and it still works.
literally, yeah. Hey,
Yeah,
you don't think
true.
I've thought about
the
this.
Moony Cinematic Universe?
So when this is going to be a really long answer to your question.
Okay,
If
yeah.
that's okay.
That's
Yeah.
all right. We're a really long podcast. So.
And I'm going to take another sip.
I was talking to I was talking to my girlfriend Ashley earlier today, and she brought her friends here to the studio and I was showing them around, and her friend has a podcast, and she was telling me about it, and we were like, I don't know if Ashley brought it up or I brought it up. She was like, how long is it? And she's like, oh, it's about, we try to keep it at 20 minutes. And Ashley looks at me and she's all, see, like she had proved a point. Because we talk about this podcast and she's like, I would never listen to anything longer than like 20 minutes.
No. If I'm turning on a podcast, I'm turning on a 45 to 2 hour long podcast.
Yeah. Now to her credit, we do have multiple. Before nowadays, we try to cap the time at a certain point.
Yeah, totally.
We used to not, and we had more than 2 longer than 5-hour episodes.
Jeez. Whoa.
So,
okay.
To her credit, that's a little out of hand.
I don't know if I would listen to 5-hour.
Yeah, especially because about hour 4, we're just drunk.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Did you ever know Alexander Wren?
No.
Okay, never mind. He's a Nashville guy.
Okay.
But that one was nuts.
I've only been here for
That was one of the
like
best
a year and a
episodes of
half.
all time.
Okay.
Okay, we'll have to get
New
into that,
lines
but-
of questioning.
No,
But
wait,
back
hold on.
to
He's
the-
still answering the
back
other
to the
question you
MCU.
asked.
Back to the MCU.
Yeah. So when I think I kind of accidentally stumbled on this idea of the moonyverse. That's literally what I'm calling
Hashtag
it.
moonyverse.
If you look on my Instagram, like a couple weeks ago, there's a they says the moonyverse is expanding. It's a thing, guys. It's
I
a
love
thing.
it. I love it.
So I kind of accidentally stumbled upon the moonyverse because I was releasing. I started releasing Moonier EP. The entire bless you, hiccup boy. The entire idea behind Moonier EP was like, I want to like establish that Moony can do just like pop, just straight up kind of like minimalistic pop, and also I need some. This sounds stupid. I need some content before I start putting out Moony and Friends, because I'd already started working on Moony and Friends. But it wasn't done yet, and I still had a lot of work to do on it. And so Moonier EP was like a quick and easy
Like an in-betweener.
thing, because the songs were already written. It was just doing new versions of them. And the songs from Moon EP they all end in Y. It's pretty, filthy, angry, scary, and God, I forget, but they all end in Y. And so I like started jokingly calling the other versions, because I was thinking like they're just going to be called pretty, alternate version. And then I started jokingly calling them prettier, filthier, scarier. Oh, look. Yeah. If you're listening, we just looked at the Moonyverse is expanding thing. So I started calling them like filthier, prettier, whatever. And then I jokingly whenever Michael and I would work on the EP, I would be like, reference it as Moonier, because everything else had ER at the end. And then I decided like, why don't I just call the EP instead of Moon EP alternate version or like Moon EP remix, I'll just call it Moonier EP. And I like announced the EP, and I think it was my friend Tanner. I could be wrong about this. Tanner Ledford, you know Tanner?
I have a thing about people named Tanner.
Oh yeah,
I'm a little bit
Fuck
racist.
Tanners.
A little bit racist against Tanners.
That's exactly what I
That's
said.
usually what I say. I'm like, fuck, if your name's Tanner, fuck you.
Except you, Tanner Ledford. I love you. Tanner's one of my really good friends, and he commented, like, OMG, something about the Moonyverse. Like he said Moonyverse in it. I was like, wow, I like that. And so I kind of adopted, in the midst of putting out Moonier EP, I adopted this like, okay, this is not just me putting out another version of this. This is a different Moony putting out a version of how this EP would have lived in his reality. And started, this was like probably November of last year. I started like conceptually thinking about, what if this was Moony's thing? What if it was like more than just the music, and it was a continual story that grew and developed, where you're meeting different Moonies throughout each project, and it can be anything, because another layer of all this is moony only can be moony if I don't give myself any rules. Like, moony does not exist in a world in which moony just does pop music or just does alt music or just does rock music. Like, moony has to be limitless in order for me to feel good about it, because I've come from doing 7 years of Honest Men, and I'm still an Honest Men, and I still write for Honest Men, and we put out songs and we play shows, and we're still a thing. People think Honest Men might be done because I'm doing moony. We're not done. We just put out a song like 2 weeks ago. Okay.
So is there a version of you in the multiverse that's Lil Mooney, who does mumble rap? Because that's what I want to know.
Dude.
I want to hear the mumble rap album.
Okay. This is food for thought. Okay. Putting this away in my pocket. Mumble rap Mooney is coming.
Lil Mooney.
That will be epic. I do rap in a song. It's called Small. Go
Okay.
check it out. Yeah.
I don't think
It's like the whitest rapping ever.
Okay, but there's a lot of good white rappers out there too.
Yeah. Two. Who are they?
Well, Eminem.
Let's say them at the same time.
Okay, Eminem. The other one's hard for me because I really want to say Lil Dicky, but he's kind of a joke rapper. But he is a legit rapper.
We love the earth.
Or
It is our planet.
but Machine Gun Kelly's not bad either.
Oh, okay.
He's not my favorite,
Okay, we can move on.
Mac Miller.
but
No, you guys should talk about this. Jury's favorite thing is to disagree with people.
I do love to disagree
No,
about
hey,
things. Do you hate Machine Gun Kelly? Because I only like him a tiny bit, so it wouldn't be hard to convince me otherwise.
I think Machine Gun Kelly is bad. I think I listened to he dropped a song like this summer, and I was like, oh my gosh, this sounds like Reliant K, who I grew up loving and
Reliant
listening
K.
to. And
Wow, I
I
haven't heard
looked
Reliant
at
K in
the
a long time.
credits of the song, and he listed Matthew Thiessen as a writer on it, because I think he like intentionally ripped off a melody of it. So I respect that, because I love Reliant K.
Sure.
Or was Matthew Thiessen a writer on it? Because he writes with a lot of pop people.
He does, but it was like the exact same melody of, I want to say it was like High of 75 from their album.
Yeah.
But
with a high
of 75 since you took my heavy heart. Yeah. But no, I don't know. Machine Gun
No,
Kelly.
look.
The only thing he has going for
I
him
get it.
is Megan Fox. So
Which is a lot.
and
But
Travis Barker as a producer,
oh,
Yeah.
really? That's cool.
which is what
I didn't know that.
I will
Which
say
a
little bit. I don't know much about his music, and I'll say this: I could have seen him at Bonnaroo when I went, but instead, my girlfriend and I went, and like when it was one of our very first dates, and she was like, "I've heard of Machine Gun Kelly," and I was like, at the same time, Herbie Hancock was playing, and I'm like, okay, Machine Gun Kelly's gonna be a way bigger show, and like, you know, your friends will know who that is, but the person you're gonna be happy to tell your kids or grandkids you saw was Herbie
Yeah.
Hancock while he was still alive.
that's true. You made
Sure.
a correct
yeah,
decision.
I think that's the right choice.
I also I will say I've not listened to enough Machine Gun Kelly to have a full formed opinion of him. So
You half press the button there.
so he could be. Did that work?
Look,
Yeah.
So
I'll
he
say
could be good.
I'm not like a diehard Machine Gun Kelly fan. I only started listening to
I mean,
him.
he's your favorite artist.
I started listening to him when him and Eminem had like the beef and they were coming out with like diss tracks on each other, and that was fun.
Yeah.
But then I went and listened to a bunch of his shit, and there was like one song I added to like a playlist.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's good. I mean, that's good enough for me to say he's a decent rapper.
Yeah, that's like Imagine Dragons. They're not a bad band. Yo, Imagine Dragons is becoming the Nickelback of the late 2010s.
Oh my God, you're
Or it's
right.
2022.
You're right.
And I
that
will say
happen?
Night Visions is a phenomenal record, and so was their next one, Evolve.
I've only heard like selected songs. I don't definitely not listen to a whole album of Imagine Dragons.
They used to be,
before.
I always used to joke with my bandmates and Honest Men that Honest Men would not be Honest Men without Imagine Dragons, because they were like one of my first secular bands I listened to. I grew up in a very Christian household that listened to mostly
I got
worship,
questions about that.
mostly worship music. And Imagine Dragons, there were a lot of bands over the years, but I feel like Imagine Dragons feels like a very like staple turning point for me starting to listen to more secular music, and so I always jokingly say that about Honest Men.
How old are you?
I'm 26. I'm about to be 27.
So you're a little bit younger than us. So because I grew up when I was young, I exclusively until like 6th or 7th grade listened to Christian music because that's what we had, and then I slowly devolved. Moved on. From
Yeah,
it.
no, you
I
devolved. You're a sinner now.
I am definitely a sinner now, but I was a sinner then too. We're all sinners. But my favorite band growing up, and I was wondering, I was like, because if you listen to a lot of Christian music when you were young, you would also maybe know who this is. But we're a little bit apart. I'm 34.
Okay.
And that's my favorite band No, my favorite band growing up was DC Talk.
Oh, I saw a man with the tack on his big fat belly and
That's
wiggle
the
around
one.
like marmalade jelly. It took me a
Jesus
while to
freak.
catch what he said because I had to match it with him at the belly of my head.
DC Talk got dirty.
I love DC. That was like my jam. All I
Dude.
listened to was DC Talk, that Jesus Freak album.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I have distinct memories of their like self-titled record, Colored People, or Colored People.
I believe a self-titled
and
album
we
would be
know
called.
that
But I know
we
Colored People. Yeah, it's a great song.
I used
They
to.
would for sure
when
be
I saw,
canceled by now.
When I,
If you listen to the song,
well,
it's great.
When
It's great.
it's
a very
a good
positive song.
Yeah, and I saw Colored People, me and my brother, and we're like, oh my gosh, what is this song? Colorado People, and we used to always call it like we would read it. I don't know why. Like I don't know if we were joking
Colorado
or what, but we
People.
would call it Colorado People, and I think we like actually thought it was Colorado People. We're Colorado People.
Colorado people, and I will put this on the record. We're both from Southern California.
Yeah, yeah.
Colorado people, when I go there, they feel like very similar to Californians. Like I'm like, oh, they're just
That's because
like
it's a bunch
me.
of Californians who moved there.
No. But they're like a little messed up.
And they
Like,
smoke a lot of
they're-
weed.
They're
Smoke
like
a lot of weed,
Californians. They feel similar, but that have been stuck in the mountains for generations and have forgotten the way, but like still carry some of the same DNA.
and are really fit.
Yeah.
Everyone in Colorado is so
Really?
fit.
I
It's the
wouldn't-
fittest state.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not
They
going to
be
move there.
outdoors.
I can't handle that. I like Tennessee with barbecue
Fuck
and hot
Colorado, dude.
chicken. You can keep your mushrooms and weed. I got hot chicken and barbecue.
Yeah.
They're like Californians that are just like a little, you know,
Broken.
a little. Yes, thank you. That's right. Like broken Californians. Anyway, were you on a?
Oh, no.
did you have
I mean,
a
I was just.
question?
I
That
mean,
was all the preface to your question.
that was so the preface was I was going to follow up with my very first concert ever was that I'm pretty sure it's my first concert ever was Matt Redman opening for Delirious.
Oh my God.
Oh wow.
And
Yes.
if you grew up in a similar background,
And by the way, for
like,
the podcast listeners,
Those are
if
Christian
you're-
bands.
if you never listen to Christian music, it's like he just said the Beach Boys opened for the Beatles.
Yeah. Yeah.
right? Yeah, Delirious was definitely the Beatles of Christian music.
Yeah.
like
No, you're saying it wrong. Delirious?
Delirious? Question mark?
They
Yeah.
had a question mark at the end of their name.
But who? So you're about 8 or 9 years younger than me.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering who were the big Christian bands that were like the Beatles of Christianity,
Yeah.
Christian music.
No, totally.
At the time, being a little bit younger.
Yes. Yeah. And let me preface this by saying these bands are incredible. Like, even today.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, Christian
where
music,
I'm
we can
at-
say it's Christian music, but
Yes.
Some
and I
of them
think
are very good.
The bands that I listened to, they make great music. That's all I'm going to say. Reliant K,
right,
Switchfoot,
that's another one classic. Yeah.
Switchfoot, Hawk Nelson, Red,
I don't even know who those last two even
Under
are.
Oath, a little
Classic.
bit. Not a lot. Not as much. I like
You
the
know what I
like
used to do a
kind
lot
of
when
punk rock stuff.
When I was with friends, I would go, and if you didn't listen to enough, maybe this won't make sense, but then I was used to this. Did that ring any bells for you? Or
No.
And it's just Ryan screaming
But
otherwise.
that was
off-
awesome.
That's off the They're Only Chasing Safety album.
Okay. Yeah,
made
I
my
shouldn't have
friends
even
laugh.
I shouldn't have even referenced Under Oath because there's like 2 songs that I absolutely love by them, and
Which
then I
ones?
didn't really. You're Ever So Inviting.
Oh, I forget which one that is.
The time has come. I'm not even gonna try. The screaming that you hear in Holiday is me literally doing the like
Pig
stuff.
squealing.
Yeah, like it's not.
Do you
I
actually know like the proper technique and all that?
No,
'Cause I know
no.
it's really hard.
No, I do have. There's some screamo, like real screamo, in the rest of my record that's gonna start coming out. that I did not do. I had the lead singer of Bitter Breath, Connor.
So you
who's
didn't destroy your throat.
I had him do the actual screamo stuff.
Yeah, I'm always very impressed by people who can do it the real correct way to do it, and it sounds awesome. Like, it's such a skill that takes years to like really get good at.
So how did you do the screaming on your...
You just scream?
My best friend when I'm not even thinking about it. And then we like put Decapitator and Devil Lock on it. And, yeah.
Nice. For the un-engineers out there, those are distortion.
I don't know if we put Devil Lock. We definitely put Decapitator.
It's a very aggressive name.
Yeah.
It is.
Decapitate her. No, don't.
Wait, is it?
I used Decapitator.
No, it's Decapitator.
Okay, I was like, 'cause that's extra weird if it's...
And was that a Pocahontas tie-in? Grandma, no!
My brother has a joke band called Buttermilk Lumber Boys. And
I'm sorry, what?
Buttermilk
Lumber Boys?
And one of his songs is Grandma Poco.
All right, next week we're getting Wait, I can't even remember. Lumberjack Butter Boys on.
Yeah, Lumberjack Butter Boys. That's it. No, it's Buttermilk Lumber Boys.
Lumber Boys.
But he has a
Next
song
week.
called Buttermilk. Or he has a song called... okay. Yes, he has 2 songs on
Boys with a
Spotify,
Z.
but he has literally like 20 songs on SoundCloud. But I think he's recently deleted Grandma Poco because, you never know if people are gonna find that and think other things.
Grandma Poco.
But yeah, the moonyverse.
Well, to be fair, as much as you're on sidetracks, I like have my questions in the back of my head. What we just talked about, the screaming, was one of my questions.
Okay.
And then one of my questions was, did you use distortion on it? And then I would have naturally asked you if you used Decapitator. So
Yeah, and
so
like
even as much as we seem to be following rabbit holes,
I need to do
we're
better.
getting everything.
I need to take us further off course.
we're getting everything.
We're getting it in there.
Michael Guillo, look him up. He's incredible. He does all my Moony stuff with me, and I'm so thankful for him. He like gets what I'm trying to do and makes it even better. And part of going into writing and producing and recording this new record was we want to like literally clip and distort the master of these songs. So if you listen to Holiday and it gets to the bridge and it's the screamo part and even some parts of the turns, it's you like your speakers feel like it's breaking a little bit. It's because we're intentionally doing that with the mix and with the master. Michael mixed it and Michael mastered it. Michael typically doesn't master my music. Voyager mastering, Joe Causey masters it, and he's incredible. Michael mastered this project, including Holiday, and it's very intentional in the ways that we tried to like push things up to the ceiling and like making it sound like your speakers are breaking.
Did he master it because you had that vision and so you wanted to make sure it happened in the way you wanted to see it done?
Exactly.
Right, it comes back all clean.
Now, did you guys reference Death Magnetic at all?
No, but we did reference a lot of Sleigh Bells, Death from Above, 1975. Honestly, Hippocampus's new record has a lot of that stuff. I'm trying to think. Oh, Idols, IDLES. Those are some of the big references. Sleigh Bells, I feel like Sleigh Bells and Death from Above were like the two. Sleigh Bells record Treats and then Death from Above's record Outrages Now were like our kind of standard for this record in terms of the clipping type of aspects of it.
Yeah.
Holiday is like, I think I just tweeted this recently. I'm like, savor Holiday for what it's worth because everything coming up is sad and like intense and scary. Like this next record is the David Fincher movie of the moonyverse. So
Wesley, you're gonna want to say something about that. You never shut the fuck up about David Fincher.
do you like David Fincher?
Yes. Who
Talk
doesn't like David
talk into that mic.
David Fincher, one of the best directors, if not the best,
Yes.
in my opinion. Absolute perfectionist, and I
Yeah.
love it.
Yes, I agree. I love movies.
Speaking of movies, but also kind of apropos of nothing.
Hold on. I'm not done with clipping.
Okay.
I'm not done with clipping. So, okay. Are you familiar with the terms loudness wars?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the loudness wars, for those who aren't, it's back in the day, like, I don't know when it started. It's 90s through early 2000s. Might have been late 90s. I don't know. But that era of time, basically, people were making music get as loud as it possibly could.
Mm-hmm.
And with digital music, there's a threshold. There's a spot where it's as loud as it can be without distorting. And the theory is that if a song came on the radio and then another song came on the radio, the louder one people would perceive as better, because there's actually an audio principle that
it's true.
when something's a little louder, you hear it as sounding a little
there's
better.
marketing principles about that as well.
Yeah.
So marketing-wise, record labels started pushing mastering engineers to make it as loud as possible. And so there's a lot of music from that era that sounds a little bit shitty because they pushed it too hard. Mm-hmm. And what everybody references, like everybody agrees, the end of the loudness war, the place where everyone knew we went too far, the Hiroshima of the loudness war was Death Magnetic by Metallica. That was the moment they went too far.
It's right that Metallica wins.
Yeah. They should. They
This
deserve
episode
it.
is now called Metallica Wins. I don't. It was distorted and shitty sounding.
Yeah.
Because they were just trying to be the loudest thing on earth.
But it
and there's
wasn't
a
like
limit.
intentionally. They weren't trying to make it intentionally sound shitty.
So
like
what's
in
so
some ways,
interesting
we're
to me-
trying to make it intentionally sound shitty.
And that's so interesting to me, because it makes it like everything's things come back into fashion. You know, there are things cycling, and we're sort of cycling right now through like. It's weird because people are sort of cycling through early 2000s and 90s right now, like simultaneously.
Oh my gosh, the comeback of early 2000s music can go to hell. It never was good music in the first place. I'm specifically
on.
talking about the pop realm.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. 100% right.
Like as in
But a lot of good rock
Backstreet
music came out in the
Boys?
early
What are you
2000s.
talking
Not
about?
even okay. What I'm mainly referencing right now is like mid 2000s radio Disney pop.
Yeah.
That was so big for the younger generation, which that's when I was growing up at that time. That is
Wait,
coming back right
you
now.
were the younger generation at that time.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Sorry.
he had
Yeah.
it and
Gotcha.
hated it.
And that music was never good in the first place, and now it's
Yeah.
coming back. I think the
Who are
90s,
we
like
talking about? Like Joe
Yeah.
Bros?
like early Joe Bros, Jordan Pruitt, Hannah Montana, like.
Okay,
the-
for the record,
Jordan
the
Pruitt.
Jonas Brothers have some good songs.
No, I
just wanna say-
I
They
love
have
the
a few
Jonas
good songs.
Brothers.
Yeah.
Remember
really?
earlier this part that might be edited out. Earlier I talked about a Me Too person.
Mm-hmm.
It was Jordan Pruitt. Was the person who made the
Really?
claims.
No way.
Yeah.
You got to jump to the music and step to the music.
But on the
And
rock
she
world, a lot of good
sued-
stuff was
She
from that era.
sued this producer
Whoa.
that I knew.
Uh,
And
I believe her.
she
I used to have a
sued-
big crush on her.
and she sued Disney.
Whoa.
And
How'd
the
that
thing
go?
Holy
Well,
moly.
Settled out of
it
court.
was-
That's
What
how
a
that went.
comeback.
So you know who it was dismissed out of court. And
Oh,
I
right,
kind of
right.
wonder if it's because Disney. I mean, the thing is,
Wow,
is like,
yeah.
They got the
Sorry, I
power.
meant what a comeback, like what a comeback around to what we were
yeah.
earlier talking about.
Yes.
right? Not what a comeback for that guy. He's really crushing it, man.
way to get the hits. No, yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I'll say I'm not trying to like bring us back into that topic,
No.
but I'll just say
Yeah, you are.
I generally took the stance of like, if somebody's gonna make an accusation, it probably happened.
Yeah.
So I just haven't talked to that person since then.
Yeah.
But also, the thing is like we weren't close. I just saw them on a fairly regular basis, and it was very easy not to talk to them because it wasn't weird. I didn't have to cut ties or anything like
Yeah.
that. I just haven't reached out,
Yeah.
and I have no idea what happened there. All I know is that Disney was sued.
Wow.
As well,
And
and
Disney-
it was dismissed. And I kind of
yeah.
wonder if the mouse got its
Was
way.
it dismissed,
Yeah.
or was it settled out of court?
It dismissed.
Because those are different. Okay.
If it was settled out of court, there is no evidence online that I can find through Google that it was.
Because
Wow,
I have a
that's
sneaky suspicion
crazy.
Disney would settle a lot of shit just not to go
Yeah.
through it.
Yeah.
You know?
Disney is a little evil.
Yeah.
But it also makes
little.
dreams come true. So
Yeah.
Well, have you been to Disneyland? Or World? You've been to World, so not Land. So you've
No.
never been to the happiest
Was that
place on Earth. You've been to the
No,
second
I've been
happiest
to the
place on
second
Earth.
Happiest place, yeah.
That's fine.
was that a part of that vacation you took where you got the name Moony?
No,
That would be a
that
really
was
good
more.
full
I didn't
circle.
go to Disney World until I was an adult.
How? Okay, so your 1st time as an adult. Okay, look, I'm just gonna tell you, I love Disneyland. I love it,
Of course.
and I don't know what's happening. Are we doing some of this? Some of the explosions?
Hey, you know when guys go in for a high five?
Yeah.
They like just
Sure.
kind of like this. I like exaggerate a little
Yeah,
bit
yeah, yeah.
just to lean into the
I thought you were
joke.
just trying to grab me. I don't know. We're just
And for the
Yeah.
audio only listeners, there's an exaggerated high five happening here.
Yeah.
But no,
If we
I
were
love Disneyland.
standing up, I would show you the like true exaggerated.
Sure, that's
version
where you
of
get
that.
naked and
Yeah,
it's like a whole thing.
we talked about that.
Yeah, we talked. Oh, you're looking for the right sound.
I am
There's the
looking for the
sound
right
that goes with
sound.
this. See, I'm the guy.
Pulling his cock out.
I will find a reason to play that sound every episode.
Oh my god.
But so I went to Disneyland as a kid.
Yeah.
You know, we live in San Diego. It's about an hour and a half
Yeah,
drive.
yeah.
Not that far. I went to Disneyland as a kid. But as an adult, I've gone way more, like an excessive amount at Disneyland, and I love it. I know a lot of people who I know who didn't go till they were an adult don't like it.
No, I love it.
So what is it? What is the magic about it?
It's so intentional and beautiful and artistic and
Goddamn right it is.
and impressive and yeah.
Like, I'm a big fan of Disney parks.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of Disney.
Yeah.
Very different things. I mean, they're the same company, obviously,
Yeah.
but the parks are something special.
Yeah, it's like I can't drive on I'm at the point in my life where I can't drive on a road and not think about the people that built the road and be thankful and impressed. And how much more do I feel that when I'm at Disney World?
It's wild. It's you walk in another universe. It's like its own country.
Yeah.
Like, I've only been to Disney World once. I went for like 8 days.
Yeah.
But Disneyland, I don't know, 600 times. But we went to Disney World for our honeymoon because that's how much we love Disney
That's
parks.
amazing.
And but in any Disney park that I've been to, which is just the two,
Yeah.
well, I mean the 7 or whatever there are at Disney World plus Disneyland and California Adventure, as soon as you step in, it's different.
Yeah.
You're just like, everything looks different, things
Yeah.
smell different, everything feel different. No other amusement park
No.
has ever accomplished that for me.
It's
They're just
awesome.
fun,
Yeah.
which is great. But Disney got something special.
It's true.
Yeah.
I agree.
Anyway,
I think Disneyland, to be honest, I was thinking about this yesterday because my new tattoo that I got in Cancun, shout out Wesley's birthday. Producer Wesley turned 30.
It was at this moment.
Oh,
that he
damn it.
He fucked up.
Okay, no. You didn't fuck up. I was trying to do that.
Oh, we have that.
we have that, yeah, somewhere.
Do the orange one, Seth.
Okay. Happy birthday, Wesley.
And so anyway, we all got tattoos together, and mine, I got it because one of the things is it reminds me of Tomorrowland
Yeah.
because it has that mid-century modern atomic era
You love George Clooney.
in the movie Tomorrowland. Yeah, I did like the movie Tomorrowland.
You liked the movie Tomorrowland?
I did.
Sucked.
That movie was the worst movie. I didn't even finish it. We gotta.
They're doing the high five again. Yeah, listen.
That movie's awful.
It's not an inherently good movie, but I loved the message of the movie.
I didn't even finish it, so no.
And-
I got about 45 minutes in. It's like, we're done here.
I'll be honest, I just loved the retro futurism. I
Sure.
like that genre enough.
Good
that-
set.
Yeah.
Bad story.
Yeah.
Real fail by Disney there.
So I think Tomorrowland gave me my love of retrofuturism / mid-century modern / like 50s.
Yeah.
But also that's Disney. I mean, Disneyland to a T is what the 50s thought
Yeah.
a beautiful future could look like.
I mean, that's what Tomorrowland was.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
literally what it was designed to be.
And that very much aligns with Walt Disney and Imagineering and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And so so not only is my tattoo like I'm like kind of felt Disney to me in a way, in that way, but also I think how I've set up the studio in some ways is inspired by Disneyland. Now, if I had more money, it would be more like that. But I have a lot of unnecessary things here that are just cool.
You just install like a Matterhorn or something if you had
I
more
would,
money.
100% would. But like, so in the back room, I have a TV from 1960 that I got fixed up, and I run Twilight Zone DVDs on it. And it's fully for the visual aesthetic.
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything for me. It's just for the visual.
Oh, I love that.
And I have a number of different like older things like that are like here for the visual component. And the studio sort of set up in a way, like I think my operating principle and how I continue to build it is based on like the Disneyland sense that like you said, when you walk in, it's like you're transported to another world.
Yeah.
And so I love that because of growing up going to Disneyland. I want you to walk in here and feel like you're moving into the 60s or something.
And everything's
like that.
intentional. That's even like
That's important.
the moonyverse and all this stuff. It's like every little piece of it needs to be intentional.
You thought through it.
You think through it. You think through the little thing on the desk and the records over here, and you know.
I think I just realized we realized the same thing at the same time, which is we're having a podcast interview with a musician and we have a second song to do.
Yeah, I was 100% about to say. I actually had competing thoughts because one, I was
and
like,
I gotta
have
piss.
Me too. I was like, I have another thought about parks, and I was like, oh, we got to play a song, so we're gonna do both. I'm gonna give you my other thought real quick, and then I'll do the song because I can't just not keep it in. Which is there was one other park that gave me that same experience of walking into another world. And that was Harry Potter World at Universal.
But
Have you been?
But only Harry Potter World, not the rest.
Not the rest of Universal is like fun, but it's like whatever.
Yes.
But it's you walk into Harry Potter World.
Yes.
Either one. We went to both, but you go to either one. You walk in, you're like, oh, I'm here. I'm at the place. Like this looks like the movie. It feels like it. We went into like the wand thing. We bought and you fucking did magic all over the place. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Harry Potter World, fucking dope.
Yes.
If you like Harry Potter. If you don't, it's probably not that dope. It's still pretty cool, but.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't allowed to watch it.
You were in one of those Christian families.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I was luckily not to be.
I've watched it since.
Yeah.
So
Did you feel guilty?
no.
Really, because now you're going to hell. So
I decided, okay, would I rather go to hell or never watch Harry Potter?
And you made the right decision.
And
Harry Potter's
I watched Harry. I'd rather go to hell. So
Yeah. Harry
I
Potter's
watched
dope.
Harry Potter.
Okay, I know we have to take a break, but this is such a...
We're never taking a break.
Okay. This is probably, like, we don't have to go down this rabbit trail, but my question is your family one of those families that came around, like now they're like all like, oh yeah, of course, watch Harry Potter, but it was when you were kids?
Yeah, my
makes
parents have, I don't think they like it still. I don't even think just as a movie standpoint, I don't think they like it that much.
Because it's demonic, but yeah.
But they are like fully accepting and fine of the fact that me and all my siblings have watched, and some of us have read the books, and they're fine with it.
All right.
That's honestly so many families I know that
100%.
they were just very protective when kids were little kids.
Totally, which
They
I
wanted to be really careful.
I even understand that. It's like I don't want my kids to get fucked up by a dragon in my skin. I don't know. I'm like, I know I'm going to be so protective.
You don't want your
of my
5-year-old watching Game of Thrones.
Yes. Okay. The dragon thing wasn't a good example. All I'm saying is like my parents were doing their best and were trying to
A lot of families had that same
keep things
sentiment.
from us that they thought might scare us or whatever. And the Harry Potter was probably one of those things that they thought it would scare us, and they just didn't like the magic aspect. But I'm like, then why did you let us watch Harry or Lord of the Rings? The same thing, whatever. Anyways, that's another conversation. I love my parents.
Yeah. That was just my question because, like, I mean, there's probably still families that like hold on, but I just feel like that's so common. I know so many people that like their families were very protective when they were little, and then now they're just kind of like, oh yeah,
We're over it.
Yeah. They've laxed in some ways for sure.
I would hope
Seems
so,
like a
as you are
common
an adult.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
They don't care that I've seen Harry Potter at all.
they're watching.
They
this
only care about all the heroin you do. So let's talk about that. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, with that,
For the record, as far as I know, he does no heroin at all.
I've never done heroin. That is a true fact.
Camera speed.
Oh, speed, does that mean go?
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Okay, I don't know video terms, but my name is Moony, and this song's called Angry, and I wrote it when I was kind of angry, so.
Run the tape and cut off my limbs. Don't wanna feel when I watch it back. Kaleidoscope to another end. The triangle's enough to make me sick. I wanna feel alive. Ooh, I don't wanna see demise. West Texas is not my home. On the contrary, it's on my list of places I deleted from my phone. I think too much about it, then I'm pissed. I wanna feel alive. Oh, I don't wanna see demise. Oh, I feel insane. A premonition tugs my heart away. I tell myself I know I'm doing great. So why am I feeling crazy, angry? Oh, I feel insane. A premonition tugs my heart away. I tell myself I know I'm doing great. So why am I feeling crazy and angry? And oh, I feel insane. A premonition tugs my heart away. I tell myself I know I'm doing great. So why am I feeling crazy and angry? Oh, I'm crazy and angry. I know I never know love until I hollow out the feeling. I know I never hold on until I'm letting go of reason. I know I never hold on until I'm letting go of reason. West Texas is not my home. On the contrary, it's on my list of places I deleted from my phone. I think too much about it, then I'm pissed.
And we're back.
Okay, and
I
that
just
was,
wish everybody else could listen to the before and we're backs. You know,
Yeah.
That's a
Sometimes I do.
Patreon thing.
sometimes
Yeah.
you do.
Sometimes I put them in.
Yeah.
We don't have a Patreon, but we will, and that's where they'll
Well,
be.
what do you mean? What am I paying for?
That's just for me.
I'm just rereading all the questions I wrote down for you in advance, and I'm so proud how many of them just came up in conversation organically.
I do want to finish talking about the moonyverse, unless you have like
100%.
a question on the
Yeah,
on the doc.
no, actually, I have a question. Could you continue talking about the moonyverse?
Yeah,
It's weird.
because I
thought
want
of
to
that in
get to
advance.
this is like a long-winded answer that takes up most of this podcast, but including our tangents. So I started releasing Moony or EP and kind of accidentally stumbled upon this idea of like every Moony is a different Moony that puts out a project, and Moony and Friends, which is the project that I released most of this year. It was like started in February and then went through the summer and then climaxed with Moony and Friends, the show, this summer. That was like this bright, happy, flowery, summery, pink Moony. If you have seen anything or heard anything from kind of that era that was most of 2022 up to this point, it's very colorful. And it's like just happy, summery song. Well, subject-wise, like not every song is talking about a happy thing, but like sonically, it's just like pop, rock, alt rock music. I'm super proud of those songs, super stoked with them. They would not have existed if I hadn't have tried co-writing out for the first time. So thankful for this city, Nashville. Love this city and love what I've gotten to do and experience in this city that I could have never done in Austin. So yeah, it was this very happy Moony, but like throughout this, in the midst of all of me, I'm kind of one step ahead of things behind the scenes. You kind of have to be as an artist where as you're releasing something, you're either writing for your next thing or you're already tracking your next thing or you're whatever. And so in the midst of writing and recording and releasing Moony and Friends, I was writing this next thing, this next group of songs, and everything I was writing was just sad as fuck. It was sucked. It was like so good to get it out of me. And it was just me dealing with like a lot of my faith and my upbringing and that, and where I am today, and a lot of stuff with my family. Mostly like with my parents, not even in like a I'm pissed off at you because of X, Y, and Z way, but in a like, okay, what you've raised me in and what you've raised me to believe, I right now at this point in my life don't feel like I align perfectly with that. And like, how do I deal with that as a 26-year-old who's like building my own life on my own in this new city by myself? It's like the first time, this past year and a half, 2 years has been the first time in my life that I've been on my own in a way. Like I graduated college in 2017, moved to Austin, but that was still like an hour and a half from my family and everything I knew and all of that. And so moving here was like a big kind of step, not only distance-wise away from home and family, but just like a step almost into myself. Like, who is Seth apart from everything, apart from his family, his church, his like some of his close friends. Like, it almost felt like a reset and a restart of my life where I finally had the room and margin to like figure out myself. It was like the first time in my life I went to therapy, which was awesome. And out of these like 2 years, it's like a year and 7 months, but I'll just say like 2 years. Out of these 2 years that I've been in Nashville, yeah, I've gotten to like write and record Moon EP, Moonier EP, Moony and Friends. But in the midst of all that, in the midst of like Moon EP dealing with like a failed relationship and the struggles that I went through with that, Moony and Friends dealing with just like coming into myself as an artist, and now this new stuff dealing with me becoming Seth Finley, period. That's like where this next project stemmed from, is just like unpacking and uncovering a lot of my past and how it reconciles with my present. And so it's like sad stuff, but it's real stuff. And it's not sad as much as it is just real. Like, it's just me, like, just facing head on this life that I've lived. And how to be an adult in 2022 with the life that I have lived. And yeah, they're just like real songs. And then musically even, it's just like way more aggressive, and Holiday hints at it for sure with the like screamo stuff and the kind of chaoticness, but it's kind of a glimpse into these songs that I have that are done now. I recorded it this summer. I just got the final masters back last week. But it's a side of me that no one has ever seen or heard before. But I feel like in what I have done with developing and building the moonyverse and like showing that there can't be any rules to this, and like don't get comfortable, it's not going to be too surprising for people. But I think the transition from Moony and Friends into Holiday was like maybe a bait and switch, maybe an intentional bait and switch, but I'm like, most of my Moony fan base has like jumped on board since Moony and Friends has started, and they jumped on board with this like really happy, upbeat, summery pop indie songs, and
they're about to be surprised.
And like, but like if they went back and listened to the Moon EP, that's like some like darker kind of stuff, and kind of toes the line. So I just wanted to establish for these people that have like come on board this year, like, don't get comfortable. I'm not going to be doing the same thing over and over again. There are so many different sides of me that I want to explore and that I want to show you. So like, come along for the ride. And so the songs were already sounding so much different. Lyrically, it's still me. Like, it still feels like it's a song I would have written in Moon EP or even for Honest Men. Like, lyrically, it's just like real. I feel like my whole life I've written songs that are true and real for me and like me dealing with my life. It's like self-therapy, and it's very healthy for me to write these songs, healthy for my mental and emotional state. And so I don't feel like I'm so far off from where I started in high school writing songs. But sonically and visually, I just feel more comfortable with exploring more things now. And so I wanted the visuals for Holiday to be this, like, if Moony and Friends was this happy, positive, friendly dude that wants to be your friend, Moony and Friends, then the Holiday Moony is this like, oh, that Moony died and sunk into the earth and has emerged this like wet, dirty, crazy Gollum-esque type of Moony that like is ready to play and is just like frantic, kind of crazy ADD, his head's not quite on his shoulders right, Moony. And visually it kind of aligns alongside of that. Like, you've seen the picture of me like holding, like Joker kind of holding up my teeth, which is on my Instagram, is of like this crazy Moony, like Gollum Moony is what I like to think of him like.
I was going to ask you earlier if it's like Venom Moony.
Or so I'll come back to that, because that yes. Yeah, that's the
there it
picture I was
is.
talking about. But like, here I am, like, I'm still happy, but I'm forcing the smile. And I am going to be singing about happy things with this next song that you don't know what it's going to be about, because I didn't tease any of the song before I released it. And the visuals all thought it was going to be some intense, kind of darker thing, and then it ended up being this like fun, happy love song. But it's kind of, I love the like juxtaposition of things in art, of like expecting one thing and getting the other. And I'm like, why does a love song need to be this? Like, you would think the love song should be this pink, happy, flowery, summery, Moony. But I'm like, why can't a love song, why does it have to look like that? Why can't it look like dark and like
aggressive?
Like dark and aggressive? Because my love for you is aggressive. No, I don't know. No, and like, even so, the black, you said Venom. It's funny, the black paint stuff in all of this is because the first movie we ever watched together was Venom 2: Let There Be Carnage.
Really?
The best rom-com of our century.
I still haven't seen it.
It sucks.
I believe that.
Yeah. And so I thought that would be a little funny thing. And then just like, I feel like people from my past and even like my church growing up might look at Moony right now and me right now and see that I like have some explicit songs and that I am doing this like kind of darker visual thing and think like, I've really fallen off. Like, I've really lost myself in the midst of doing the artist thing. And then maybe hear that I'm with Abby now and we're doing great and we're getting married, and might assume like, oh, Abby has like changed him, or just assume that like people and my craft have like changed me throughout the years. And I feel like I am like day by day just coming into myself more and more, and not like changing because of so much of this outside influence. I'm just like changing because I'm becoming more of myself. And so which is a good change. Yeah, which is a good thing for me. And I feel like I'm in a very healthy and like good season of life. But the fact that like, maybe, this is hypothetical, like maybe someone could look and like assume like Abby's changed me. Like being with Abby has changed me. I kind of wanted to like play with that idea a little
which
bit.
it most certainly has, because any relationship is going to change you.
Yes,
Any
100%. But
Yeah.
Abby has not corrupted me.
right. That's different. Yeah.
Yes, Abby
you
has.
will be Gollum.
Yeah, Abby has changed my life completely, 1,000%. Abby has not corrupted me.
Yet.
But I like almost wanted to like play with that with the visuals.
I was already thinking this earlier because you're dating an artist and we do a show where we interview artists, but now we absolutely have to have her on and hear her side
Yes.
of the
Here,
story.
talk shit about you
And
for
we're
2
like,
hours.
Yes.
Question number one is like, did you corrupt him?
Did you corrupt him?
And we'll just go from there.
Yes, she would. Y'all should definitely have her on. She's amazing. But yeah, I like almost wanted to play with that idea visually of like, yeah, the paint is like referencing Venom and that kind of stuff, and it's just fun. It's like a fun thing to get to throw paint on me, but also this idea of like, you think Abby's maybe corrupted me, so like this is her corrupting me. The paint like slopping on me and me being this like dirty, dark boy. The music,
Dirty,
there's a
dirty
music
boy.
video for it that comes out this week or next week.
Awesome.
That the scene where the paint goes on me, we have animated this like halo that comes down, and then the paint goes on me, and then it's swapped out with devil horns really quick after the paint's on me. And it's just kind of supposed to be cheeky. It's supposed to be this like, no, like, yeah, I know I'm showing you right now that that I have a halo, and then paint comes on me, and then I have devil horns. So you think, okay, he's pure, and then paint comes on him, and then he's corrupted. What is he even? How does that relate to the song? Well, the song's about Abby, so does that mean that like Abby has corrupted him? It doesn't seem like it, because this song is really happy, and like it seems like he's really in love, and it seems like he's having a good time. And it just makes people think. It just makes you think. It
So
like
you're out there to confuse people. Is what-
I'm like I don't know. I'm trying to like. I don't know what I'm trying to do.
Sure.
I'm just
But it's
trying to
authentic.
like think a little
Right?
bit more deeply about what I'm trying to encourage my listeners and followers and fans to like read into everything. Like do it. That's what this is about, is me just like putting my life on display with these songs. And if you want to read into it, read into it. If you want to think Abby's pregnant, think it. Any room, like any, what is it? Bad press is good press kind of thing. Like, any press is good press, and she's not pregnant. But
Well, we'll ask her.
yeah,
You know, one thing I'm hearing is like, so, you know, both Jury and I went to church in different phases of our life. And so, you know, I think we both have similar experiences in different ways. Where, like, I know, for instance, with this podcast. So on this podcast, we openly drink. You get to see that I vape nonstop, and we cuss. And if you, there's people from my old church that on occasion will like our stuff on our social media. Like they
Yeah.
follow our social media.
I'm like, you didn't listen to it.
And there's some people that I'm like, I hope they haven't listened to an
Totally.
episode, because like I see them once a year at Christmas, and when I go back home, and I like them as people, and I want to see them again, and I'm like hoping they aren't judgmental. And honestly, they might not even be judgmental.
totally.
Right? So I think that there's this whole thing when you, so I felt that with this podcast, but I've also felt that in my band. So in Night
Yeah.
Tides, like I don't put out anything explicit in Night Tides, but even still, like I remember I had a song where I wanted to, it's called Dizzy Dreamer. I wanted to express like some darker thoughts. When I listen back to it, what's so funny, oh no, Live and Die in Misery is the one where I wanted to be darker. When I listen back to it now, I'm like, this is such a happy song. Like it is not that dark. But there's still a part of me when I put it out that I'm like, oh God, I hope people don't think all this weird stuff.
Yeah.
And there's something about that, like you're saying, like Abby pregnant, all that stuff. Like there's something about putting yourself out there as an artist that is so scary at times.
Yeah.
And you go to these places where you feel like people are talking about you
Yeah.
or they might think this or that about what you're saying. And sometimes you're afraid of that. But also, I think there's something where over time you start going, okay, I want to be, I feel like you felt this way. Like there's a time when you go, I'm going to be honest
Yeah.
with what I want to say. And just because I put it in a song doesn't mean this is my most honest version of this thought. That's what this song needed and what I wanted
Yeah.
to say here.
Yeah.
And some people might interpret that in a way that I don't even agree with, and they might think differently about me now. And that scares me because maybe they'll want to disconnect from me
Yeah.
because I've said something that goes,
And
some-
that's
it's gonna
why you
disagree with
gotta
them.
make the songs for yourself.
And you start going, you know, I hope that the people I care about don't misinterpret this song and think about me differently. But if they do, I'm just going to be brave enough to put out this thing because I want to say, if I can't be myself or say what I want to say in a song or be willing to show my dark side, because everybody has a dark side.
Yeah.
If I can't show my dark side, and so there's something in artistry that's like bravery for you to be
Yeah.
like, look, here's kind of the dark side of me.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put it on display, and I hope you like it and still accept me, but maybe you won't.
Yeah.
And I'm going to just learn to be brave enough as a person to like show that, put it on display like you said.
Yeah.
And
it's not even like I'm trying to be dark or trying to be edgy. I'm literally just like it's not like I have 6 songs pre-planned and laid out of what I know I want to say, and I'm just processing my life when I sit down and write a song, and I'm not trying to be edgy for the sake of being edgy. I'm not trying to release an explicit song so that I don't so that I don't have my related artist on Spotify as my old church that I went to, which was the case when Moon first started, which is fine. You know, I'm like, whatever. I don't care. I'm not trying to be something I'm not. I'm just trying to write my life into songs literally for me so that I can take this piece of me that is bugging me and nagging at me and that I've talked about in therapy and get it out, like vomit it out of me so that I have that in front of me and I've dealt with it and it's in front of me and I can move on from it.
yeah.
And that doesn't mean like I'll never come back to it. It's just I like need to, as an artist and as a writer and as a creative, the way that I deal with shit is through music, and I have to do it. I have to do it or I will explode. And I'm not. I all these songs coming up. It's funny that we're talking about this because none of these songs, y'all don't even know what this album is about.
It's not even out yet.
It's not out yet.
Which
but
is there when is it coming out?
next year?
Next year. So it's gonna be a little while.
Yeah, it'll be like spring of next year. The whole thing will be out. It'll like come out in singles slowly over time. But yeah, I'm like there. I don't know where I was going with that. I lost my train of thought.
No.
Sorry.
But yeah.
But
it's hard. It's hard. It's scary putting the stuff out, but it's also like something you're compelled to do.
Yeah, and if it's not something, I was so nervous to put out Moon EP, my first EP, because that EP talked all about my divorce. I went through a divorce in 2020, and the hardest shit I've ever gone through. It sucked, and I wrote an album. Well, not every song on that EP is about it, but like a few of the songs are. And I was so and then our last Honest Men record is like all about that. And I was so nervous to put out my first Moony EP because I was like, I hope she doesn't listen to this and think that I'm just like trying to diss on her. And I hope that she can identify that it's just me like processing these things myself. And I'm not like singing diss tracks about her. I'm just singing my life into song and like trying to cope with and deal with these things. And I was talking to Michael about this and like, dude, I'm so nervous to release Filthy. It was before Filthy came out. I'm so nervous to release this and just like hope people don't take it in the wrong way. And it feels like the realest, rawest thing I've ever put out. It was also at the time, it's like not a big deal for anyone that didn't grow up the way I grew up to see an explicit song and think anything of it. But for me, it was like a huge deal that I was putting out a song that had the word shit and the word bitch in it. It said life's a bitch at one part, and then it says, and it's shit like this that forms a callus for the best. It was a big deal that I was putting out an explicit song, and I was nervous about my ex's thoughts and reactions. I was nervous about like people that I've grown up with and that have like followed along with me all these years and have been a fan and might be like offended by these things. And Michael was like, dude, if your if this fear doesn't pop up for you every once in a while with music that you're putting out, you're doing it wrong. Like the fact that you're nervous to put this out is a sign of true art and is a sign of like your true self in this thing, in this package that we call filthy in this instance. Is this the name of the song? The fact that that you're scared about this is a good sign, and like you should be nervous about this because it is real and it is raw and it is honest and it is you. And so I really took that to heart, and I'm nervous as hell to put this next album out, but I'm like not letting that stop me, if that makes sense. I'm like, I feel like I just have to do it. And like, I'm not responsible for anyone's response to it.
Right.
And I'm not even saying this like, this album's going to be so controversial and I'm putting it out and everyone's going to like be mad at me. No, I don't think that at all. I think people are going to love this record. I really do. I hope they do.
Quick aside, as a producer, remind me his full name again.
Michael Gio.
Michael Gio. I love what you said. He just said. I'm like, that's a good producer.
He's amazing.
I got respect for that.
He's
guy.
also my best friend.
So
and
shout out Michael.
Michael's amazing. Yeah, I could not say enough about him. If you're an artist and listening to this podcast and make good music, ask Michael to mix it for you or produce it with you, and I can't promise that he'll work with you, but he's great.
But he might.
All I'm saying is that he's great.
I'll give you some solid advice.
Yeah. Well, along
With Same thing.
Were you about to with that with me?
Yeah.
Normally, I feel like I got to do it.
Yeah,
But
go ahead.
wow, I'm really impressed. No, you want to do it? You can do it right now if you want.
Yeah.
Can
If you wouldn't mind pressing that button.
Yeah.
Well, usually you're the one who does
I
that.
am. I know. It feels so nice.
Yeah.
Well,
Did I get it?
Along the lines, yeah, you got it.
Okay.
Along the lines of being your true self.
Oh.
We do have a question that we ask every guest who comes on the show. We're coming close to our time. This is usually our close to our final question, but there is one question that we ask everybody who comes on the show.
And by close to the question, you mean this is always the last question.
Great.
And
Sure,
sometimes
yeah,
we
yeah,
say
yeah.
a few more things
Yeah, yeah,
afterwards
yeah.
because
True,
this
true, true.
sometimes leads to things.
True.
But this is the last and only consistent question we ever ask.
True.
We used to consistently
Ask
open
2 questions.
every episode we opened with,
How'd you get into music?
but recently we decided that
That's stupid.
it's a stupid fucking question. We hate it. Yeah.
So
I would
we've
just
dropped
say,
that.
Imagine Dragons.
Right.
And we would have talked about Imagine Dragons for a while before we ever knew that you don't even like them and they're Nickelback.
Yeah, before we ever knew that you didn't want people to talk to in airplanes.
Yeah.
Like, I want to get to that first.
We've gotten rid of that question.
Yeah, it's a stupid question.
But this question we have not gotten rid
and
of.
never will.
You're all, what just happened?
Here's the deal.
Yeah.
If you had to choose,
And you do.
and you do. Okay, now, the important thing about this question,
It keeps going.
I'll stop that. I'll stop the sound effect.
the important thing about this question is the answer does not come from here.
And for the audio only listeners, he's pointing to his head.
He's pointing to his penis.
No, he's not.
He's pulling his cock out.
The answer must come from here.
He's pulling his cock out.
Again. He just pointed to his penis both times, you guys. Now people have to go, and this is great marketing for us. Now they know that you can watch the episode. We should say this shit at the beginning. You can watch this on YouTube and Spotify.
Yeah, we'd never say this.
You can actually see us.
But you can watch it on Spotify?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
video on Spotify now.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
It's
Can I
not
put music videos on there?
Sure.
I'll,
You can do what you want.
I wonder, I'll bet there's a way.
Okay.
I'll bet there's a way.
You probably label it as podcast.
I know Apple Music you can do that, but
Anchor is the
Spotify.
company that does it on Spotify. Cool. Yeah.
Right.
So we
If-
switched to them to be able to do video podcasts on Spotify.
Yeah, if you've only
Very
ever
exclusive.
heard audibly us asking this question, you should watch the video.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a podcast. I have a 10-episode podcast. and
Really?
That's it. It's
What's
me
it
and-
called?
What's it called?
Me and my brother. And we haven't done it in like 6 months, but it's called Movie Buddies. We just talk about movies.
All right, check it out.
You can cut that out. That was just
No,
for
we're not
y'all.
going to cut that
No,
out.
it's
We want
in.
people to check it out.
Everybody, check out Movie Buddies.
Movie Buddies.
So anyway,
If you had to choose,
and you do.
and you do. Now, what that actually means in practice, coming from your heart, not your head,
Yeah.
is I need an answer quick.
Okay.
I need an answer right away. I don't want you
Okay.
to think about it. I want your gut reaction.
Yeah.
The answer that's so deep in your soul
Yeah.
you didn't even know.
Yeah.
So answer quickly.
Yeah.
No pause. If you had to choose,
And you do.
and you do,
I'm ready.
what would you say?
I think no, hold on. I felt like that I'm ready was a bit premature.
True. I don't know
I
if
don't
you're
mean to
ready.
judge your answers or anything like
Okay,
that.
I'm not ready.
But that was just it came out of you so quick. You felt so confident in it that I'm like, he can't be ready for this.
No.
He
I'm
needs
not
more
ready.
explanation about what the question is.
That's true. Yeah. So the answer must come from your heart. I really want a real answer.
Deeply.
If you had to choose,
And you do.
and you do,
You have to go quick, and it means no stopping and thinking. We've had people answer this question very poorly. Where
Very
they
poorly.
waited. They waited a very
This
long
is
time
going to be the
answer.
dumbest question I've ever heard. Just ask it.
if you had to choose,
And you do.
and you do,
Oh my God.
what would you say is your favorite kind of turtle?
I like turtles.
Not an answer.
No, I love that answer. I love that answer.
I can honestly say we've never gotten that answer before. Not even one time. Not even one, in all the episodes. Not even one time have we got, I like turtles.
In 60 episodes. But so many cool things happened there. First of all,
The sound ending at the perfect
The
right
sound
time
ending at
has
the perfect
never
right time.
happened.
Oh, I thought you like manually
No,
ended
that was
it.
perfect.
it
that was
sounded
just
like a manual
happenstance.
end.
Okay, that was epic.
That
It
was
just
perfect.
happened.
Yeah.
We have never let that sound effect finish before. We've
Yeah, we
always
always stop
stopped
it.
before it ended. We didn't know how it ended until now.
Now we got to practice the timing of it.
Yeah, damn
that
it.
was great.
Yeah, that was
was
incredible.
great.
That's great.
Moony song, that great. Come out. It already come out. Go watch it.
Moony
already
song,
come out.
that great, come out.
Words are hard.
I'm broken. I'm like a fucking Coloradan right
broken
now.
Californian.
Okay, so no, but here's another interesting thing that just happened.
What?
So several episodes ago, we had Dawson Hollow on, cool indie band
Great
if
band,
you haven't
yeah.
heard them, and their Luke, who's like their day-to-day manager, was one of them that was on the show. Anyway, when we asked him his favorite turtle, he had an answer. Then he regretted that answer and backtracked, and we had this whole conversation about it. But at a certain point, he said, and I quote, "I like turtles."
It's because it's a meme.
Okay, I was gonna say, is that a thing?
Yeah, it's a thing.
It's a meme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, for the record, this question predates the meme. I've had this question as in the chamber for like a decade. Because here's what happened was I did a job interview. And it was a stupid fucking job interview. Basic, boring.
Yeah.
And I told myself, if I ever get a chance to interview, I think you're
That's
completely
never happened
disconnected
to me
to
before. I'm sorry.
I had the thought that if I ever get the chance to interview anybody, I'm not going to ask those stupid fucking questions.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask them a random. I meant for a job, right?
Yeah.
But like, I'm going to ask them this random, off the cuff. They definitely don't have an answer for a question because I want to know if they can think on their feet.
Yeah.
I want to know if if I'm interviewing someone for a job, I want to know that they can hang.
Yeah.
And so this is the random question I came up with. And then like years later, when I thought about doing a podcast, I was like, we're asking this question
It's
to every
perfect.
guest. And we do.
My
And-
real answer is Galapagos.
That's a good answer, but
that
I don't
is
know
a
if
good
it's your
answer.
real answer because you thought about it
Yeah,
quite a
what's
bit.
in your heart is I like totals.
Yeah, it's the meme. It's mainly because I couldn't think of
That's fair,
a
that's fair.
turtle other than turtle.
We get a lot of box turtle. We had a lot of snapping turtle. We get some sea turtle, and then people always go, like the one from Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what the
Galapagos.
Galapagos are. They're the oldest
I don't-
turtles, right? They live the longest, and they're actually tortoises, not turtles,
True.
turtle.
It's
I
a
believe.
I'm fine with
tortoise,
it.
not
I mean,
a turtle.
I don't think I've really heard.
which is a very different species completely.
Okay, whatever.
But we'll accept it because you like turtles.
Yeah. All kind of. I don't discriminate turtles.
Yeah. In fact, I feel like I've definitely heard Wesley say that like a bunch of times. Or if not,
I
you
like
definitely
turtles.
could. Like it would work with you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There we go.
That does fit your vibe.
Yeah, it really does.
That's perfect.
But before we get out of here, let all the people know where they can find you, the socials, the links, the shows, the live performances, the public appearances.
Which one of these bleeps out?
He's pulling his cock out! Well, it's that one on the other page of sounds.
There you go.
Which one? Okay. I live at. That was my address. But you
All
don't
of
get to
our-
hear it.
All of our lip reading viewers are going to show
Huge
up at your
lip reading
house.
population that views us, by the way.
Apparently. You can find me on all social. I managed to get the same username across every social platform.
Really?
Impressive.
And I've thought about but when I release my debut full length record, because I've only released EPs, it's going to be called what my social handle is. And so that's where you can find me. And thanks for listening. I'm Moony.
Was it?
My social is at Seth is Moony. And so if and when I release my debut full length record, it's going to be called Seth space is space Moony.
Love it.
Without the word space, an actual space
Yes,
on the keyboard,
space
to be
bar.
clear.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is an important thought I had earlier that I
Okay.
forgot to mention.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Okay. Wesley and I have a friend, and you
guys have a
would you say his
friend?
friend? Would you say he's a friend? Josh Edwards. Do you know Josh Edwards?
Yeah, I know Josh. I know Josh. He DJ'd my wedding.
Oh, Josh is Edwards?
yeah.
Josh is Edwards.
So
I know that
here's so here's what's crazy. Josh Edwards, good friend of us. He created a band several years back called Moon. Not Moony, Moon.
Okay.
And their Instagram is Moon is Music.
Okay.
And so you are Seth is Moony.
Yeah.
And I just feel like in my head you could put them together. Like Seth is Moony is Music.
Yes.
And I don't know, you guys should meet and create like a
Yes.
super friends kind of situation.
We should.
Yeah.
Like a
Space
hall of-
Ghost.
Yes.
Ghost.
No, my dream is to open for Moona, and then it would be Moony and Moona.
I love that for you.
Yeah.
I love that journey for you.
Love that.
Thank you.
Love that for you.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was my really important thing I had to say. Not as important in hindsight.
So Seth is Mooney on Instagram, Snapchat,
No Snapchat.
Twitter,
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook,
MySpace, Zynga,
TikTok.
LiveJournal.
Can I just say on the record?
Yeah,
Fuck TikTok.
Thank you. I have shit on TikTok so much on this podcast.
It is the demise of mankind.
The demise of the U.S. for sure. At the very minimum.
God, I hate it. I hate it, especially as an artist. I hate it. I really hate it. Okay, anyways.
It's like, you know what
But
it is?
on TikTok, they can
It's-
find you.
And your
Yes.
wife would love this. It's feed me, Seymour.
Your sister? Oh, yeah.
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 TikTok is just like, feed me content.
Yeah.
I'll make you famous, boy.
Literally.
gross.
Okay, it's funny. Like my For You page is funny. They know me. They know it's like just all I want to see is poop jokes.
Sure.
And they give me that. But as a creator, it just is exhausting.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I have
Where's
never
the
been on
new
TikTok.
video, Mooney?
Yeah.
Where's the new one?
I have
You made a
purposefully-
great one yesterday.
Yeah.
We
And
need a new one today.
Maybe I just want to get on this app and watch poop videos, not make
Yeah,
content.
I have purposefully and consciously never downloaded TikTok.
Yeah.
And I'm very proud of that.
Mm.
But also, the more longer it goes, the more I'm like, am I just an old grouchy man about it?
No, it's you don't need it, and
I don't. You're right. You're right.
I like literally. I've gotten to the point where when I first downloaded it, I would like scroll on it a lot, and it was the one social media app that when I got through using it and closed it out, I genuinely felt like I had wasted my life away on it.
Yeah. Now, if you're listening to this 10 years down the road, you may not know what this means. And just so you know, TikTok was a trend that lasted a very short time.
Yeah, hopefully.
Blew up everything and then completely decimated the world.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's why you're poor now. So
No.
so you know.
Have you ever wondered why you lived in like a nuclear wasteland?
Well, TikTok.
But yeah, it was the one app that I truly felt like I was wasting my life away as I was scrolling through it. Granted, I was laughing every like 17 videos, but it sucked. And then I was like, okay, I'm not into this anymore. I don't really want to scroll on it, but I still had it on my phone. And then I was like, okay, I need to turn up the ante for Moony, for TikTok as an artist. So I started posting a lot. And at the time when I was starting to post a lot, I would still scroll a good amount. And I quickly gained like almost 1,000 followers and was like, great. TikTok is great. It's working for me. I get it. Like I get why you should be an artist and be on this app. And then I started posting and then immediately getting off the app. Like I would just post it and then get off the app. And I never really opened the app up. And I feel like they'd noticed that because in the last 6 to 8 months, I just don't scroll on TikTok anymore because I genuinely feel like it's not good for my mental health. And I only am on the app to post for Moony. And I like don't get any views or followers anymore.
Crazy. They definitely know. That is definitely purposeful.
The TikTok giveth and the TikTok taketh away.
I believe what you mean is China giveth and China taketh away.
So,
when I first joined, it gave me like tens of thousands of views, and then it went all
it doesn't
away.
care.
Now you can't get anything.
No, yeah, it is exhausting. I like Instagram a lot. I think Instagram does it well, and I can like build a story much better on Instagram and like do my thing and interchange videos with photos with whatever I want. I like the story. I just like everything that Instagram's doing. I like the stories stuff. I like the reels and the photos and everything. It does it well, and I can, as an artist, do exactly what I want to do on Instagram. TikTok, it's just videos, and it's only like selfie videos that do well.
Yeah. As much as Mark Zuckerberg became a villain, in the end, we're realizing like he wasn't such a bad guy. You know what I mean? And
It remains to be seen.
Did y'all see Don't Worry, Darling yet?
Yes.
I'm on Letterboxd, if you know what that is, and my only review at the end of that movie when I went on the Letterboxd was Zuckerberg's metaverse.
Yeah. I saw.
Wesley got it. Wait, did I get your name right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You did.
Yeah,
I'm
you
sorry.
nailed it. And now that you asked, it's weird.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
Now he
it
thinks
is.
you don't know his name.
It is. I'm sorry. I'm so bad with names.
By the
Me
way,
too. I'm the same.
But I know Jury, I know Ryan, I know Wesley.
yeah, that's
Nailed
all three
it.
of us.
Absolutely
That's
crushed
everyone.
it.
My bros.
100%. A++.
Yeah.
Plus.
And Jerry, I just wanted to
9
say,
pluses.
I think you should see that movie, and I'll tell you later.
Okay.
It's the Rotten Tomato score is very poor.
You know I'm very picky.
The Rotten Tomato score is very poor, but if it had been made 20 years ago,
It would have been high.
everybody would have loved it.
I'm open to the
it's
idea.
It's just not groundbreaking, but it was well done.
Okay.
It was fine.
Yeah.
It had too much exposition
Oh,
throughout
that bugs
entire
me.
movie. It explained the plot over and over
That's
and
what
over
bugged me
again.
about the Elvis movie as well. Too
That
much
movie
exposition.
too.
Too much
Yeah.
exposition. It was like when the exposition slowed down, the movie became awesome.
Yeah.
Like the whole like first hour of the movie, I was like, this is okay. And then the exposition slowed down and became just a movie, and I was like, oh, this movie's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I loved it. I hate too much exposition.
Have you seen
Show Not Tell?
the show Watchmen? Not the
Every
movie.
episode. And the movie. But every episode of the show, and it was perfect.
Thank you.
Absolutely a perfect. It's a mini series, really, because
Yep.
they're not doing a season
Nope.
2. And if you haven't seen it, Ryan,
Haven't.
bruh, it's great.
That show is literally perfect.
it'll get you right in the everything.
Yep.
The thing is, like, some parts get you right in the feels, some part get you right in the brain, like get you like enraged. And like
It's so good.
so good.
It's
I
so
think it's 9
good.
episodes
Yep.
of perfection.
Yep.
Like, it is phenomenal, and you should watch
Damon
it.
Lindelof, the guy that wrote Lost, he's only doing 1 season of this show unless
I didn't know that
he
was
said,
the guy who wrote Lost
Yeah,
did it.
he said unless the heavens open up and I hear the audible voice of God telling me to write a season 2, I will never make it.
It's a perfect season.
So
It is phenomenal. I watched it so quick, and then I watched it again with my wife.
I watched it while it was coming out, so I had to wait a
Oh,
week
I
between
didn't
it,
do that.
and so I watched episode 1 through 5 within 5 weeks, and then I was like, "Shit, this is so good! I feel like I need to read the source material because it's a sequel of the original graphic novel and
Right.
the movie, which was based off the original graphic novel, and we need to wrap up." Wesley's telling me that, and so after episode.
Oh, because the camera's about to die.
After episode 5, I went and I bought the graphic novel and I read the entire graphic novel, and then I finished watching the show. And let me tell you, if I could recommend any viewing experience to anyone, it is watch until episode 5 of Watchmen, stop, read the entire graphic novel, and then finish the last 4 episodes.
No one's going to do that.
It is so perfect, especially
I've never
coming
read the
from the
graphic
original.
novels. But man, it is really good though. It, for sure. I mean, I never read the graphic novels, but even without that, it's really great.
It's
Honestly,
a
the
sequel.
movie is good
It's a
too.
sequel of the graphic novels. Some
Okay.
people think it's like a retelling of the novel. No, it's a completely new story. It's like it's a sequel.
But anyways, guys, make sure that you go and check out Moony on all the things at Seth is Moony or Seth is Moony.
Seth is
Seth
Moony.
is Moony. Make sure to check him out. Are you playing live anywhere coming up that people should know about?
No.
Absolutely not. You cannot see him live, but he will again at some point. So make sure to keep an eye on
Not
it.
in this universe.
Sure, but in the MCU as a whole, he's playing live every night. So make sure to check him out. Look it up.
Yeah, in
Check
the
out your neighboring
and
universes.
Friends, Moony and Friends is playing every single night,
Exactly.
just in a different universe. So we're gonna go out on one of your songs.
Okay.
Would
What
you
song?
like for it to be "Great," which is currently
No,
your top
you know
most
what?
played song?
I'm going to throw a
Or-
suggestion out, which I've
Yeah.
never done before. I always let the guests say, it's like, you should play Holiday, the Spotify version.
That was my second thought.
Yeah.
And why,
because it
Jerry?
is so different, and it's such a rad song.
I had the same thought.
yeah.
I want to play Holiday.
That's a good thing you chose that, because we're going to do it anyways.
Great.
So you'll hear as we're out, this is Holiday. Make sure to check Moony out on Spotify. That's the one place you're not Seth is Moony. It's just Moony.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So note that.
And Apple Music. And Deezer.
And anywhere that music is, it's just Moony.
Yeah.
Everywhere else, Seth is.
Moony.
All lowercase. The one with the
Wait.
capital is an
Wait, what is
Italian
it?
dance queen.
I thought it was EY.
Nope, no E.
It's just Y?
Yeah, it's just
Moony.
Oh, shit. Okay.
yeah.
Check it out.
Come on.
But anyways, guys, as always, thanks for coming to hang out. You guys are awesome, and we will see y'all next time.
Touch the shed, found a new level. This is it, gonna grab my shovel. Dig a grave, I'm pins and needles, so I bury the body to rest. You gave me some paralyzing feelings from the start. I'm a constellation, you're my stars. I think I get how they wrote those scripts. Now I wanna go back and watch it. I'm feeling like pressing play and taking a holiday. I've been serving my PTO for you, baby. I'm locked and loaded, I'm on the right side. Locked and loaded, I'm on the right side. Locked and loaded, I'm on the right side. Here we go. I love my sisters and brother and parents, and I'm over the moon that we're gonna be parents. Haha, I'm so unmistakably happy at last. Why did I try so hard before and fall on my Abby on guitar, and I like that. Looking at Abby in the car when my brain's all mushing. It's Abby on my mind and it's Abby all the time. I love Abby, social mother, my kids. Do you think that's funny or dummy? We're falling in love, and I'm in a Hollywood movie. It's silly that Christmas is coming, and God bless those kids with mommy and daddy. I want one and them. Pressing play and taking a holiday. I've been saving my PTO for you, baby. I'm locked my PTO for you, baby. I'm loaded up on the right side. Simply, I'm taking a holiday. I've been selling my PTO for you, baby.